Good morning, everybody. We'll call to order our Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017 regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. If Sheriff Salisbury, if you'd please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if the clerk would please take the roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland is absent. Commissioner District 2, Kevin
Here.
Schutte.
Present.
Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffries.
Here.
Thank you. Item 4, correspondence and organizational business. If the clerk would please report the correspondence.
The Washington Department of Natural Resources sent information on a timber harvest located on state trust lands near county property. The State of Washington Recreation and Conservation Office sent in a letter about North Mason soccer/football field renovation. The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in a liquor license application for Skokomish Valley Grange at 2202 West Skokomish Valley Road. And the Shelton Health and Recreation Center and South Sound YMCA sent a letter about the Shelton YMCA project.
Thank you. Item 4.2, Public Works Bid Award Information.
On August 2nd, 2016, County Commissioners authorized the county engineer to advertise, set bid opening date, time, and award the contract for the 2017 overlay project on Arcadia Road, milepost 0 to milepost 7.0. Date and time of opening was Friday, April 14th, 2017 at 9 a.m. 3 bids were received and opened at the office of Mason County Commissioners. The contract has been awarded to the apparent low bidder, Lakeside Industries out of Lacey, Washington, at their bid price of $1,377,907.46.
Thank you. Item 4.3, we have a proclamation acknowledging Mental Health Awareness Month. Commissioner Jeffries?
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas mental health is part of overall health, and whereas 1 in 5 adults experiences a mental health problem in any given year, and 1 in 17 adults lives with mental illness such as a major depression, bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia. And whereas approximately 1/2 of chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14 and 3/4 by age 24. And whereas long delays, sometimes decades, often occur between the time symptoms first appear and when individuals get help. And whereas early identification and treatment can make a difference in successful management of mental illness and recovery. And whereas it is important to maintain mental health and learn the symptoms of mental illness in order to get help when it is needed. And whereas every citizen and community can make a difference in helping end the silence and the stigma that for too long has surrounded mental illness and discouraged people from getting help. Whereas public education and civic activities can encourage mental health and help improve the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Now therefore be it resolved, we, the Mason County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim May 2017 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Mason County, Washington, to increase public understanding of the importance of mental health and to promote identification and treatment of mental illnesses and substance use disorders. And be it further resolved that all citizens, businesses, schools, and community organizations are encouraged to take the stigma-free pledge at www.namai.org/stigma-free in observance of Mental Health Awareness Month, signed the 2nd day of May. And I do encourage folks to get more awareness about mental illness. The stigma issue is a huge issue that prevents people from getting help when they need it. You don't actually recover from a mental illness, but you do go into remission, so the help of support of friends and family is so important. So I encourage you folks to be more aware of what it is, how it can be treated, and how you can support those you know that are suffering. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4.4, news release, community services one-day closure.
Morning, Commissioners. Subject is Building 8, one-day closure, May 4th, 2017. Mason County Community Services Department located at 615 West Alder Street, Building 8 will be closed for business on May 4th, 2017. The department's biannual all-staff meeting, or training, will be conducted at the County Works Building. These trainings are essential for meeting local, state, and federal standards. On-site business operations for Community Services Department consisting of environmental health, community health, vital statistics, fire marshal, planning, building, and permit assistance will return on May 5th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item 4.5, a proclamation acknowledging National Correctional Officers and Employees Week.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So, the second week of, well, I'll just read this. Whereas the Mason County Sheriff's Office is committed to together maintaining custody security control in a safe, efficient, and constitutional manner. And whereas corrections officers are unseen and often unappreciated, dedicated professionals who choose a career as community servants who manage a diverse group of individuals, some of whom are violent, mentally ill, and dangerous. And whereas corrections officers are integral to ensuring the citizens of Mason County are protected from people who the criminal justice system has determined are not safe to be at large in our communities. And whereas in 1984, President Ronald Reagan designated the second week of May as National Corrections Officer and Employees Week. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mason County Board of County Commissioners proclaims the second week of May 2017 as National Corrections Officer and Employees Week in Mason County. So we thank you guys for doing the proclamation for us.
Thank you, and your staff is under tremendous pressure. We had the opportunity of visiting the jail last week, and there's a lot of pressure in that position.
Yep. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, item 5, this is an open forum for citizen input. It's an opportunity for members of the public to address the commission on items that are not listed on today's agenda. If there are any members of the public that would like to come and address the commission, please approach the podium and state your name, and the chair will recognize you. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move to item number 6, is the adoption of our agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded that we adopt today's agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Item 7, approval of minutes. There are minutes from April 10th, 17th, and 24th. They are briefing minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the briefing minutes as stated.
And I will second that. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from April 10th, 17th, and 24th, 2017. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Item 8 is our action agenda. We'll read through the items on today's action agenda, all 2 of them, and at which point a member of the public or commissioner can have an item removed for a separate vote and conversation. I will go ahead and read item 8.1, and Commissioner Jeffries, if you take item 8.2. Item 8.1, approval to have the chair sign agreement number 14-1581 between the county and Recreation and Conservation Funding, RCO, for the North Mason District Football Soccer Field Renovation Project.
8.2, approval of warrants. Claims Clearing Fund warrants numbers 8048006 through 8048284, totaling $632,158.72. The Direct Deposit Fund warrants 40227 through 406221, totaling $701,311.64. And finally, the Salary Clearing Fund warrant 7002718 through 7002747, totaling $511,935.06, for a total of $1,845,405.42.
Okay. Any discussion on those items? I would entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve both items on our action agenda today.
I will second that. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the items on today's action agenda. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Item number 9, other business, is an opportunity for department heads and elected officials to address the commission. If there are any department heads or elected officials. Karen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Karen Herr, County Auditor. And I just wanted to remind everybody that in May 15th through 19th is candidate filing week. For 1 week only, so anybody that is interested in running for one of the 60 positions that's open this year. I want to encourage you to do so. Any registered voter can have the opportunity to run this year. Every jurisdiction has an open position. Every fire district, every school district, every port, hospital, cemetery, and all the others. Tonight, we are going to be conducting a candidate workshop. It's going to be in our election processing room, which is just right down the hall, from 6 to 7:30. So anybody interested, we'd like to invite you. We're going to be talking about the overall election process, how to file for office, the sign regulations, candidate statements. We're also very happy that the Jennifer Hansen from the PDC, Public Disclosure Commission, is going to be joining us tonight, and she's just going to go over all the requirements for the paperwork that each position must file, which is sometimes a little daunting. And we're there to answer any questions, so we hope that anyone that's even entertaining the thought of running for office, please join us tonight.
Fantastic service. Thanks for the education.
Sure.
Good morning. Couple items. I had one for the radio this week, just good news. And so, whenever we have good news, that's a good thing. I just had a look at the crime stats from the same time period last year. Actually, it would be to the beginning of this last month for a year. South end of the county, our crime rate's down by 3.85%, so that's a good thing. In the north end, we're down by 11.21%, and we're still running 9 persons unfilled positions. So to be able to do that is pretty tough. So I really appreciate those folks out on the road. They're doing that. We have had, I think they told me 17, but I know over a dozen major calls just this year. I mean, major calls this year. Commissioner, you've been on the end of the phone with me on those on numerous times in the middle of the night, so thank you. That is greatly appreciated. I've been calling the board, the chair of the board, when we get those, so they're aware that what it costs to do those things, that he's aware of why we're spending that kind of money. Earlier, we just had recently an alleged active shooter at North Mason at the middle school and the high school area up there. And what I wanted to do is take a moment publicly today, and I did on the radio as well, to thank those agencies that assisted us. The cost of that was extraordinary for those other agencies. With that, I want to thank the Washington State Department of Transportation. They don't get thanked very often, but they took the liberty when they saw the first 25 patrol cars come through to think that maybe there's more as they were coming, and actually stop the traffic in Belfair for us and clear that construction zone from those cars coming out of North Mason, or excuse me, South Kitsap County in the city of Bremerton. Also, both the fire departments helped also with that traffic control, just jumped in and got that stopped for us as we moved into the area. Our agency, of course, everybody in our office and command staff responded. Kitsap County Sheriff's Office, there's a whole list of Kitsap County Sheriff's deputies that responded. Washington State Patrol units from all over the area. Bremerton Police Department responded their units into our area. The Squaxin Island Police Department, the Washington State Department of Corrections, the Washington Liquor Control Board, Washington State Parks, Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife, the Shelton Police Department, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, FBI, FBI Tacoma, FBI Olympia, and FBI Seattle. Bainbridge Island was in the area and heard that call out and showed up for it. The Port Orchard Police Department and 2 Skagit County deputies were training down here and responded to that, along with Central Mason Fire and North Mason Fire. There were a total of 105 law enforcement officers there from 15 agencies, and to be recognized for that. Along with that, so you know how that works, last night I called the commissioner, and there were issues with the Olympia Police Department. I talked to Chief Roberts yesterday and said, if you need anything, call. I used to work over there and get to work in those May Day riots, and they're not fun. And as the bricks started flying yesterday, they needed additional call-outs, so we sent units over last night and had the rest of our agency on standby. Chief Roberts called back a little while later, thanked us, and we had everybody sitting on standby to go. So I'm glad they made it through that okay. Last piece, Special Olympics. This is our first year. Mason County's never participated in the torch run before. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm speaking with Chief Hansen at the middle of a state meeting, and said, I've wanted to do this forever and get this on board. And he says, how bad do you want to do it? I says, really bad. So he stood up in the middle of the meeting and says, Mason County's in. We're going. I'm like, I guess we're going. So thanks, Chief, for getting us going on that. The torch run will be Thursday, June 1st. It's on a Thursday because the weekend is the start of the Special Olympics Friday night for Washington State. And we'll be participating at the other counties and cities in the state of Washington, running the torch from North Mason County. There's a list here down through different locations to South County, and we'll be ending up at the Little Creek Casino. There's a letter here that tells about it, as well as our course. We're selling shirts for that. The goal was for every agency in the state of Washington to sell $2,017 to shirts in 2017 for every agency. We're shooting to go way above that. Every single law enforcement agency that I read today, including our local agencies, is involved with this. Our law enforcement torch run this year will be running section of this. We even have the United States Forest Service from our area and Washington State Parks involving with us. DOC's running with us to raise money. So our T-shirts, if you'd like to have one, we're selling them. All the money goes to our local Special Olympics athletes. These are the Washington State Special Olympics torch run T-shirts. And on the back, the motto this year is called Game On. And they're $20 a piece, and you can go to our front office, and we're selling those there, and the chief and I and some of us are carrying a few around with us. So thank you for that. I really hope that we move forward in supporting our Special Olympics athletes. There's, I don't know the exact, I'm going to say 82 or 83, and there's 80 plus Special Olympics athletes that live in Mason County, and we're trying to sponsor it so every one of them can participate in the Washington State Special Olympic Games. So thank you for doing that, and contact any one of the law enforcement agencies. Thanks.
Thanks, Sheriff. Okay. Any other elected officials or department heads? Okay. Move on to, there are no public hearings today, so we'll move on to item 11. That's board reports and calendar. Commissioner Jeffries.
So last week we had an evening meeting, and then the following day I met with our contracted consultants, actually contracted by the EDC, to update our economic development element. I think they're going to do a great job. They came into the meeting with a lot of stats already collected and analyzed regarding the performance here in Mason County. There'll be, I had a meeting with the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging. We were not successful in identifying a candidate to lead that agency, and we'll be going back out for a more applicants. Attended the Belfair Elementary fundraiser to send the kids to camp. They have the whole 5th grade. They raise money in the community to send all the kids to a day camp there. We had commission briefings yesterday, and then I have a pretty light week, so I'll be doing just a lot of desk work this week, but I will be meeting with the City of Shelton administrator tomorrow, and then Scott Brewer with the Hood Canal Coordinating Council. And then there's the open house for the Peninsula Community Health Services in Belfair on Thursday, a phenomenal new service to the community. Friday is all-day filming for 4 promotional videos to promote the county's opportunities for a place to live, a place to bring your business, tourism, and highlighting our aquaculture industry. So I'll be leading a film crew throughout the community to get some great shots. If you have any ideas for any of those topics, let me know, and we'll see if we can get those shots. Looking for a really great recreational shellfish beach, so let me know. And then back here for briefings on Monday.
Okay, thank you. Just want to echo a couple of things from last week, and I'll join with the sheriff in thanking all those other neighboring counties and agencies who sent help to Belfair. I appreciate the coordinated effort put forward by your office and your leadership there. As a former teacher, as somebody that has a family that works in North Mason schools, that's a worst nightmare scenario, and so I appreciate everybody willing to run in and help. So thank you for that. Also looking forward to the torch run. I had a chance to get out to the breakfast last Friday and hear from Special Olympics, their leadership team here in Washington. Looks like a fantastic opportunity for us, and really excited to see everybody get out on June 1st. So make sure you go out and buy a T-shirt and support the torch run. Looking forward to that very much. Last week I also spent some time with the Pioneer Kiwanis group out at Spencer Lake. Great chatting with them about some of the issues that are going on in the county here. I appreciated their input. Be meeting with our assessor this week to talk about some of the efforts that they have going on in their office, and getting an update on some of their work. I'll also be doing a ride-along with Mason County Sheriff's Office tomorrow. It's going to be a warm day, so maybe get some work in there. So also have the canvassing board twice this week. We had an election a couple of weeks ago in a fire district, so we'll be working to certify that election this week. And then I'll be touring Quixote Village in Lacey in Thurston County. It's a tiny home village for veterans. So I'll be going down there with Tom Davis, who's been very active in trying to bring a similar model here to Mason County. And I know he has some support in the legislature to get that done. I'll also be getting a special session update from the Association of Counties, so I'll be participating in a conference call with them this week, and then back next week for briefings in our meeting. Okay. And with that, that takes us to item 12, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
We're adjourned. Have a good day, everybody.